What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of I'll Call You Right Back podcast with me, your host. My name is Chad Medved. I'm the captain of this ship. Welcome aboard. It's wonderful to have you. First thing is first, Turner Dairy Farms, creators of Turner's Premium Iced Tea and all the limited edition milks that you could even conjure up in your mind, is dropping another banger on November 15th. I have never had this one, but it might be number one for me. Brownie Batter limited edition flavored milk. Going to be absolutely ridiculous. That's November 15th. Get yourself ready. Turner's also dropped a pre-order for a ugly Christmas sweater. So if you're looking for an ugly Christmas sweater and you want to rep the team, hop on over to Turner Dairy or turnerdairy.net and pre-order now. But the reason that everyone is here this week, it is, last night I recorded, Wednesday night I recorded an episode with Michael Patrick. Michael Patrick is my tattoo artist. He is, not my tattoo artist. He's many tattoo artists, but he is a very, very talented tattoo artist in the city of Pittsburgh. His shop is called Milestone Tattoo, and it is in Dormont, and his Instagram is Michael Patrick Tattooist, and he is absolutely sensational at tattooing. I've been going to him for a decade now. Usually, I always say I've known everyone in a decade, but I think I got my first tattoo in 2009 or 2010. Can't really remember, but it was from Michael Patrick, and I've been going back ever since because he's just, his work speaks for itself. Hop on over to his Instagram and check it out. But Michael is also the creative mind behind the Best Friends logo and the Trick or Treat logo from last year with the Turner I'll Call You Right Back collaborations. Michael Patrick designed them. Me and him sat down. I told him that I wanted a carton costume character doing something on a t-shirt, and he was like, well, why don't we make a person in a phone costume as well? And me and him kind of just made some shit happen, and he drew it all up because I am absolutely terrible at art. But I had Michael Patrick come over and sit down with me and kind of button up Halloween. I feel that, October, I usually try to get some banger spooky episodes, and I had a couple great ones this October, but I didn't get 4 full Halloween episodes, which is, I feel I would be remiss if I didn't have another opportunity to talk about the great things of Halloween. And Michael Patrick is someone who likes Halloween more than I do, which is a good bit. He and his girlfriend travel down to Disney and Universal and participate in the Halloween parties. They've been doing that for like 8 years. His tattoo shop has all kinds of spooky ass shit in it. He is a big pop culture guy. And he's just, he's not just a tattoo artist, but I've been friends with him for a decade now. We talk about movies, all kinds of good shit. And I just really like him. It's often, maybe it's not often, but for me, I've been lucky because I've had a tattoo artist that I could talk with in depth. I would imagine some people that are tattooists, some people don't want to talk while they're tattooing. They're concentrating, but me and Mike sit down and we chop it up about everything, listening to music, talking about movies, talking about life, religion, politics, and he's just an open book. So I asked him to come on over. We originally did an episode December 13th of 2018. He's one of the OGs. Whenever I did my original podcast back in 2014, he was one of the 10 episodes that we did. And, I just love the guy. So I wanted him to come on over, talk to me about, tattooing and like kind of how the world we're living in now with like pandemics and shutdowns and everything. I feel like we've talked about, some of the experiences of chefs and like small business owners in that regard and like what they had to go through. But I mean, tattoo artists, they're not really an essential business. So like he kind of got, just locked out of doing work. And a lot of the people that are, self-employed, had some problems getting through with like all the government end of shit. And, this conversation, we sit down and we talk about how Mike pivoted and how he kind of, what he did during the pandemic when he was shut down for a few months. And we talk about all kinds of shit, his creative process, why he loved Halloween, kind of what it meant to him, some important movies. And it was a good way to button up October. He's also someone that is a big Christmas person, as am I. He's tattooed gremlins on me, 2 different ones. And, we get nostalgia. Me and him just like ooze nostalgia. Plus we look alike. But I'm happy with October. I wish I could have had some spooky ass ghost stories and some alien encounters like we did last year, but I feel like Kevin Drobish and I feel like he was like pretty damn spooky. Now Insect Mother, I feel like I can't classify her under spooky, but she could if she wanted to be. She wasn't really crazy spooky. She was just pretty cool what she did. It just happened. I judged a book and I was like, oh, this girl's gonna be real creepy. But she wasn't. She was fantastic. But a lot of good episodes. I'm happy about it. November is going to kick off another grouping of, great guests. And then for December, I'm going to try to get some holiday episodes in. You already know your boy got some shit up his sleeve. I hope it works out the way I plan it to work out. But it's going to be fun. I'm telling you that. But, each and every week, good people. Sorry for the delay, but you already know. So I'll stop talking your ear off. Without further ado, episode 160, is it 163 or 164? Episode 160, no, not 160, episode 184. Jesus, I've been doing this for a while. But episode 184 with Michael Patrick. I want you to enjoy it. Thank you. I'm sad that Halloween's over, but I'm happy to get into the next holiday. I collect things and my wife has had to condition me to get rid of some of the extra shit that I have. Just way too much shit. I had way too much. Where did you get
these made?
So these are made by a local artist who goes by the name of Lysol. He's the one who made these 2 pieces right here.
Okay. He's the one, he's not tattooing, but he should be tattooing that guy?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that dude. He makes it adamant that he is not a tattoo artist, but he has, dude, he's very talented. But I originally met up with him because of an Instagram giveaway that I had this Instagram giveaway where he gave away this old school eagle print, and I ended up meeting him, and then a couple years later he always followed along with the podcast. He actually did some of those right under that pumpkin too. There's a Virgin Mary and a Jesus picture there, but he ended up hitting me up and he was like, I like the podcast, so I was like, come on, let's do an episode. And one of them episodes that you would never expect to be every episode is good, but I was blown away by just talking to him, just a regular dude. And he hit me up and he brought me those photos whenever he came to do the episode. And then whenever I moved, he hit me up and he was like, yo, I got a gift for your studio. And he brought me that phone. And then I was like, oh my God, that phone's so sick. Yeah. And that was whenever I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for the background. And then I just hit him up and I was like, yo, would you do the rest of this? And I'll just use this as my background. But I really love it.
Yeah, it's super cool.
It's that old school, mail pouch tobacco. But, I like the old vibe a bit. You know what I mean?
No, it's cool that he did that stuff for you.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Dude, whenever he came to do the episode, he brought me them 2 small things, and I was just blown away because, dude, it's physical art pieces. He took a lot of time to do that shit. And then that woodcut, he cut that shit out, painted it all. And I was just blown away that he was just people, dude, I always think about it whenever I talk to people. Everyone has so little time. And I don't know, anyone that gives me some of their time and takes some of their free time and spends it on something to give to me as a gift means so much, right? And then Zach did that, that bottom one. That's Justin Boyd's photo of Mac. And Zach did that as well too.
I didn't realize it was that big.
Yeah, dude, he killed it.
Yeah.
A lot of talented people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's so difficult to like try to figure out how I'm gonna hang shit up in here. We were here for like a year almost, and I don't know. I just couldn't decide where I wanted the shit. You know what I mean?
You just got to put it up.
I know I have so much artwork though, but it's like I put up one thing and then I'm like, oh, I have this piece too. But then I'm like, oh, I had all these pieces in my old house for 7 years, so I want to get all kinds of new shit. Yeah. You know, just kind of change up like the vibe of it.
Dude, my house, the way me and Ashley decorate, we will fill every inch of wall.
Yeah.
With images. Like, and we mix and match. And like just the other night we bought like we had this like random spot, and we were out antiquing, and we found a last rites cross.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, that's gonna fit perfectly there. So we just bought it.
Yeah, that's super cool. I like that, and I like the whole kits that they had. You know, they used to come in like a kit, like the Last Rites kit, where they had like, it's almost like a vampire slaying kit.
There was an exorcism kit.
Yeah, dude, all kinds of wild shit. Yeah. Religion. It's crazy.
The Last Rites kit is weird because it is a cross that like the cross slides off, and you can like hold it up, and it has like 2 candles and holy water, and it had all the stuff in it.
The whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
You asked for this ultra watermelon Monster Energy.
Yeah.
I've never had these. Okay, I was worried that they weren't going to be zero sugar, but then I saw that they were zero sugar. Yeah. And they're pretty good. I just cracked one open.
I mean, it's a sharp taste. Like as soon as you taste, it's like a lot
pungent.
of flavor.
Pungent.
Yeah.
Pungent for sure. So, like I said, you were on here December 13th, 2018. You were also on the first podcast that I ever did in 2014. So, I mean, you've been around for a while. You know, you and I have been around the way. And I wanted to have you on because I think that besides for my wife and me, you're pretty into Halloween like more than anyone else I would know.
I'm pretty much year round.
Yeah, year round, right?
Halloween, yeah.
If it was acceptable, you know, if it was acceptable to have decorations up year round all the time.
Yeah.
That would be what it was.
I feel like you fall into like, oh, my house looks like Spencer's gift.
Oh, I love it.
Do it too much.
Yeah.
So we kind of like, oh, well, we like dark Victorian. And that's kind of Halloween. So we kind of just like
roll with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to roll with
almost everything we do, my shop to my house to like, our
their vibes.
Side
you got a good vibe.
Like, it's always Halloween and dark. That's the way we like it.
Fuck yeah. Why not? Why else wouldn't you want it anyway? Last time you were here, I didn't have headphones. I got headphones there for you if you want them.
Okay.
Get into like the whole vibe of it all. You could hear everything. It's definitely, I like it better.
Oh, that's definitely different.
Yeah, it's different. So you hear yourself, you could hear if you're like pulling away on the microphone. So that's why like you want to like stay up on there. You know, you hear all nice and crisp and clean. The volume good on your headphones?
Yeah, that's good.
See? In it, you're in the vibe.
That's a weird, yeah. I'm sure you get it all the time. People are like, oh, I sound like that?
Absolutely. Everyone's like, God, I don't even know if I'll listen to this. I hate the way that I sound. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. But, you know, I got used to it real quick. But let's jump into it.
I gotta use the telephone.
Hello?
Telephone.
I'll call you right back. Call you right back.
Telephone.
I'll call you right back podcast. Look at that. It's official, right?
I mean, that's legit. That's legit.
I appreciate it. I'm pumped about it. You know, I'm pumped to have people over and like, you know, be able to have a spot and have like a wall with a logo. You know, before it was just like, it was cool before because it was a homey vibe. You know, it was comfortable. I had all these random people just coming into my home and just sitting on my couch. So it was easy to like kind of open up.
Yeah, it was definitely more pirate.
Yeah.
Than it is.
You know what I mean? We were doing shit in the trenches, but now it's like, you know, I got a nice table. We're getting some artwork up here and, you know, we're coming full circle with it.
Yeah, man. I'm like bedazzled by all those lights.
Yeah, ain't it cool? All the different colors and everything. You could see it. I got all the, for Halloween, I got all the, we got all kinds of good stuff in here. We got all kinds of good stuff in here. You know what I mean? It's fun to be able to like kind of incorporate different things. I had some local hip hop artist. Well, he's not local. He's from Chicago, but I didn't know him really. But I did a deep dive into him because he was only here for like a weekend, so it was kind of like a spur of the moment interview. And as I was like listening to all of his shit, there were songs that had like meaningful lyrics that I was like pretty impressed with. So I incorporated them into the pad where we were talking, and I would like, pop one in and let him listen to it. And like, we would talk back and forth on it.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it's cool to be able to add like a different vibe in it all. Something a little bit official, but I wanted to have you on to talk about, we're kind of wrapping up Halloween. I feel like it was here and gone, before I could even realize it.
You know what? This month had the most amount of weekends in it as well. I think it had like 4 or 5 weekends.
Do you feel like you did a lot?
I didn't do anything, man. I barely got to carve a pumpkin. I think I carved one on the 31st. We had a couple trips that we were planning, so we were just constantly gone. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what's the point of, decorating or whatever, but we always get around to it.
And make it happen.
Yeah, luckily, like I said, our house is pretty spooky.
Year round.
So as soon as like September hits, we're straight
In that vibe.
yeah, pumpkins everywhere.
It's funny. I saw a meme that was like August 31st to October 31st is all fall, and then November 1st up until the day before Thanksgiving is Christmas. Then there's 2 days of Thanksgiving. Then there's Christmas until like January 15th. But I'm excited to put up all my shit. I'm going to do that this weekend.
You know what? We went to the storage unit yesterday and pulled out all the Christmas boxes. Like,
You got a lot of shit?
we have like,
Too much.
I think it was like 12 bins.
Holy shit.
We have 4 trees. We have, yeah, it's ridiculous. And I'm like, it's only like the 2nd of November. Like, can't we just still enjoy Halloween?
I like
a
it,
little
though.
bit longer.
I like it. It makes me feel jolly almost. Even if it's spooky ass shit that's up, like all the, the scary type decorations. I feel jolly whenever I see it.
I mean, there's just something about that the Christmas holiday that like turns the mood. You know what I mean, you go from like eerie, spooky, chilly days to like, oh, it's bright, happy Christmas time.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid to
Embrace it.
celebrate it. Yeah. Like, give me the tree, give me the weird Santas,
Yeah.
give me the blow molds.
I like it too.
Yeah.
I've been looking for blow molds. They're expensive.
They are, but if you go antiquing, you can find them like super cheap.
I know,
You
they're
gotta
like-
replace the bulb though, because
That's all right.
it's just like a fire hazard.
I know the old
From the
stuff doesn't
50s.
start smelling.
Yeah.
So now I feel like that. I usually tell people like how I kind of came across you, but like I've known you for so long. I came across you because you're a tattoo artist, obviously. I talked about you recently, the last couple episodes, because you are the one who creates the Turner's I'll Call You Right Back logos for the t-shirts. This year's amazing as usual. And
I see it sitting there. I'm
Oh, yeah.
super stoked about it.
I love them. I love both of them. I think whenever I approached you, I said I wanted to do a Turner's carton, and then you came up with putting the phone in the costume as well. And it came out to be like better than I could have ever hoped. You definitely, full circle. You're pretty talented at what you do, but yeah, you were my tattoo artist forever. I think a decade ago, maybe I got my first tattoo.
If not longer.
Long
to be
time.
honest, yeah.
But you're the reason that I came and talked to you is because you were spooky. You had spooky vibes, like the shit that you would post, you always kind of gave off a spooky vibe. And then whenever I hit you up and I was like, the Monster Squad, and you were like, oh yeah, it's like one of my favorite movies of all time. It was,
For real.
We were there. And we, over the years we've been through some shit. Andre, you tattooed Andre Gower's name on me after, we went to that premiere. Pretty epic stuff.
I remember that. I totally forgot that we went to
Yeah.
the Hollywood Theater. And
Yeah,
watched that.
the
I
Monster
forgot all
Squad.
about that.
That dude just had a heart attack, like a
serious?
crazy, like a widowmaker heart attack. They thought he was about to die, but I guess he's living.
I mean, let's. Yeah,
I hope he's still doing all right. Last time I saw him, he was in the hospital, and he left an update that said he was all right. But yeah, crazy shit.
I don't understand why there isn't more done with that movie. It's such a great movie, and I don't know what like I don't know when it came out that it was like overshadowed by something else. In the 90s, right?
No, it came out in mid 80s. I think it came out in 87.
So something must have overshadowed it, so it didn't get the press that it needed to. But it's like the most amazing, like
slept
not
on
just
movie.
Halloween movie, but all around
because realistically they don't even, it's not even Halloween. Like they don't mention Halloween really in there at all unless until they said like on Halloween night. That's the only time they mention it. There's no trick or treating in there, and I think it's cool because I don't know, it was just like for what it was back then was just like such a well done movie. There wasn't too much shitty special effects. You know, they used like great prosthetics and like I mean, there were special effects, but there wasn't like CGI garbage besides for the black hole.
You can clearly tell that some of the computer graphic, the CGI could have been updated.
It could have been updated.
Where everything is getting sucked in, and it's just like this weird.
Could have been updated for sure. It's interesting that you said that it never really crossed into that like cult classic. Like it kind of is a cult classic, and like for like the movie nerds and like the horror nerds, like they definitely know about the Monster Squad, but it never really like got the credit that it was due. Like, you know, later Evil Dead became like, you know, a big cult classic type thing, you know, Dawn of the Dead and shit like that. Those all like kind of got their shine after that they came out, right?
Yeah. I mean, even other ones like the Killer Clowns.
Yeah.
Like hardly anyone really knows who the Killer Clowns from Outer Space are. I don't know if you've seen that movie, but you know, every year I do a Halloween mystery box, and this year I did
Killer Clowns.
And I can't tell you how many people message me and they're like, who's the Killer Clowns? Yeah.
I feel like that they're more of like a visual, you know, people know them to see them, but they might have not ever seen the movie. The movie was, I mean, you got to call it as it is. The movie was not the best.
I mean, the clowns themselves are pretty amazing.
Oh yeah. Like that.
The way they were done.
But the movie itself really didn't, I mean, like, do you watch it often?
I watch it every year. Every year.
It's been a while for me, but I remember me thinking even back then, I was like, it's not the best. I also fucking hated clowns. Yeah. You know, I hated clowns. Those ones are good ones though.
They're in the 5 movies that I have to watch in October. They're like number 3.
That's one of the questions that I had prepared to ask you because, like I said, I wanted to kind of button up Halloween and kind of button up like, you know, the feel of that because, you know, as we talked about, you know, Halloween kind of goes and then a switch flips and you share that same enthusiasm as I do. You know, anytime I'm getting tattooed, whether it be, you know, a fall time tattoo or the Gremlins for Christmas, you know, we both embrace it. But I'm curious to know, like, you know, how do you make that transition? Because, you know, I kind of try to focus it to the horror movies. I immediately go from scary movies into like the Gremlins, into like, you know, Krampus. And you know what I mean? You gotta kind of go like that and kind of transition through it.
I feel like you transition the same way I do, which is kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, you love Christmas, but you're just not ready to let go. So you got to watch Krampus. You have to watch the Gremlins. You know, even like the Gremlins is one of the ultimate Christmas movies.
Oh yeah.
It has to be watched for Christmas. And I think it's not just because it's Christmas time in the movie, but for some reason the whole thing.
It's the vibe of it all.
Yeah, it fell in that niche of like, oh, this is a Christmas movie. Where I don't even think, what is it? I don't see Die Hard as a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I watched Die Hard for the first time last year. Yeah. First time I ever watched it in my life, and it was great. You know,
I mean, it is a good movie.
It was a great movie.
I don't think it's a Christmas movie.
I do not. I also do not think it's a Christmas movie. You know, I feel like, you know, Christmas movies, it has to be more than like 5% of the content or the storyline. You know, it can't just like mention it one time. Like Monster Squad is a yearly movie or a year-round movie because it doesn't feel, you know, that it doesn't feel like that time. You know, horror movies, you know, The Strangers, shit like that. That doesn't feel like Halloween to me. But if I'm watching, I don't really find myself watching Halloween outside of October. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. There's a fine line of it all.
Even with the Monster Squad, like I was saying,
Come up on that mic a little bit.
I'm surprised that it didn't get more traction.
Yeah.
You know, because the Universal Monsters is owned by Universal.
Yeah.
Which, you know,
And
they
I
have
think
a whole
that
theme park. That
these
they
are
can
probably the
incorporate.
best. These are probably the best versions of them outside of the originals. You know what I mean?
sure.
Like the way that they are. You know, I mean, the Wolfman is like probably besides for I think one of the topics that me and Ryan talked about last year for the haunted house or for the Halloween movie episodes was the transition of American Werewolf and how incredible that was, and how everyone always like kind of refers to that as being like the best, you know, werewolf transition of all time, and how the Monster Squad is so overlooked because whenever he transforms from that werewolf or from Uncle Rico into the werewolf in the phone booth, it's like, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
You know, like for what it was back in the 80s. And it's, I don't know, it's definitely slept on. You know, those people, I saw that, I keep getting emails from Cameo. You know what that is? Cameo is where you could pay celebrities to record a video and like send to you. So you could say like, oh, it's Michael Patrick's birthday. You know, like, you know, I could hire Billy from Gremlins and say, you know,
Have you done this before? How
No.
did you get how they like?
this has been around for many years now, but you know, I just got an email from like a, you know, promotion, like one of my hooker emails that you just put all your terrible shit to. And I look at it and it said, oh, Cameo is back on. So I open it up for the horror cameos. And it's like, you know, the guy who played Jason, it was like, you know, the girl from Halloween Town. And then, you know, just random shit like that. Henry Roland Gardner, you know, and you could like hit these people up. The guy who played Scream, like the voice of the Scream guy, you know, you pay him $100 and you send him a message and you just give him, you know, your friend's name. And this dude's just like, hey, this is so-and-so, the voice of, you know, the killer in Scream. And like, he puts like the Scream mask over it and he goes, hello, like whatever your name is. And I'm just like, it feels so gross to me to pay people to just record a video like that. You know, 10-second video, 20-second video, 30-second video. And you're just like,
I mean, you're paying people's rent.
paying people's rent, you know,
They gotta
can't
make
hate
rent
on
too.
it. Can't hate on it. Another thing that I did want to talk about while you were here, because like, you know, since like the pandemic and shit like that happened, I feel like that I kind of had the like the outcomes of everyone's, you know, the business end of it all for like, you know, chefs, for people that had like small businesses. But I was curious about like, you know, what happened with the whole like tattoo artist, you know, whole, you know, that whole group, because I feel like it kind of was overlooked.
You know, it's what I think I take a really weird stance on the pandemic.
Yeah.
I think that it was almost necessary.
Yeah.
Because things were getting not for the whole world, right?
No, I
but
get it.
For my industry, it almost benefited, right? Because there's, it almost weeded out the weak.
Yeah.
And I that sounds shitty to say that, but you know, it's everyone that was on top got no traction anymore. So now we're all on the same level. You know, before you would go to conventions and, you know, there would be your heavy hitters there and they're winning all the awards. But now that everyone has time to like be by themselves almost,
Yeah.
like everything is set at zero. There are no extreme top dogs anymore, and everyone can like build their platform back up.
Yeah, it kind of leveled everyone.
Yeah, when convention started again, people had to decide whether or not they were going to keep up that same like mentality of I want to be on top. And a lot of them didn't. A lot of them just kind of like settled into their life, and they were like, you know what? I'm just going to tattoo. I don't need to go to every convention. So you have like this rollover of new artists that came in that are just like doing phenomenal things, and they finally get a voice because it's like out with the old, in with the new type of thing. I just got back from Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah. You do that every year, right?
This is actually a different one. It's called Anime Inc. And
Okay.
It's the first of its kind, right? It's basically an anime convention for tattooers.
Yeah.
And so everyone's just like, there's pretty much cosplay everywhere. And
People were dressing up and shit?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah, I love that.
It's like new things like that. It's like the pandemic, you know, everyone taking up that break, you know, everyone not being able to work was hard on everyone, but it unleashed a creativity.
Absolutely.
It wasn't there.
That's the best way to say it. It unleashed it. It made you become more creative so you didn't fall behind.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And so many people that like sat at home, you know, and they were just like, I'm just going to create art. I just need to create art. Developed so much quicker, so much better. Like I've followed guys who I just love their tattoos, and I've noticed a huge switch in their style because they had, you know, 3 months, 6 months to paint. And they're like, wow. I kind of like this style now.
Yeah. Now, were you guys, like, did you have to shut down?
I did.
So how long were you shut down?
I think we were shut down for like 3 to 4 months.
3 to 4 months. Now, as a tattoo artist, obviously you do other things. Like you're very entrepreneurial. You sell artwork. You know, you have a side brand. You know, like for a tattoo artist, though, I mean, what kind of, you know, you're just, the doors are closed on you, and you just kind of got to figure it out.
So luckily, yeah, pretty much that was it. You just got to figure it out. A lot of artists did just make art and sell art. Luckily, I had a side business that was already doing well.
Yeah.
So we just pulled all our efforts into that and just started, you know, because people still wanted to spend money, which is weird. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you think everyone's out of work, but people still wanted to spend money.
That's because the government was just giving them
I know.
piles of it.
So luckily with our company is called Main Parade.
Yeah.
And it's like a spooky Halloween Disney based small shop, online shop. So we basically just went and pulled all our efforts into that, and
Beast mode.
yeah. Just
Focused
started
it all on
creating
that.
designs, and that's actually what kept us afloat. You know what I mean? Throughout this whole thing. So when we were able to go back to work, it was just like 110% going back to work. Like everyone had those checks from the government, and they all just wanted to spend it on hair and tattoos.
Yeah, that it's interesting to think about that, because like, you know, your whole business model for Main Parade was like online. You know, you don't have like a brick and mortar or anything. It's Instagram, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's where you're finding it all, and it's cool that was still like a way for people to. Because I found myself doing the same thing. You know, trying to patronize, you know, small businesses like that, and like buy, you know, just cool shit for people that are like just trying to use that creativity to like, you know, kind of pull that plan B out. But it's wild to, you know, to hear it from your end. Like if you didn't have that though, you know, you're kind of just at the mercy of the government, and if you get your stuff, and it's crazy to think about that.
I mean, we weren't like really eligible for any of like the special grants or anything like that. Like anytime we tried to, you know, file the paperwork to see what we could get for our businesses, we're both, you know, self-employed.
Yeah.
So it made it a lot hard. And the fact that we don't have employees made it even harder. So if we didn't have this small online business, I mean, it could have been way harder on us. And of course, with Disney being shut down, you know, that actually took away even some of that. So like any decision that is made by the higher ups, it has this massive trickle down effect. So even though we were putting more into our Main Parade, all the people that were buying it couldn't even go to Disney to flaunt it.
Yeah.
And then of course, once we went back to work, we had no time to even work on that little shop anymore. So it's like, it sat in limbo for a long time until we made another change. Kind of we're rebranding right now. So
wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, we were actually just down in for the Disney Halloween party
Yeah.
to like take photos and.
How long are you there? Like, I mean, how long have you been going there? That's what I meant to say.
I think we've been doing the Disney Halloween party for like the last 8 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This year, and it's an unpopular opinion, but it was terrible.
Was it?
Yeah, like
Why?
It was the same price as all the other Halloween.
How much is it to do all that?
I want to say it's like 180
180 for the day.
for like a ticket. Yeah.
And that's like to go everywhere in there?
No, that's just Disney, right? Or that's just the Magic Kingdom, right?
That's not like, is that where Epcot and shit is?
No, there's like 4 parks.
Yeah.
So this is just the Magic Kingdom, and it's not
Okay.
even all day. You don't even get to go in till 7 at night.
My goodness.
And then it closes at like 11, right? But it's all this Halloween at night. And before it was great because they had tons of decorations. You walk into it, every lamppost had a jack-o'-lantern on it. The whole Disney was just decked out like Halloween Town. It
Wow.
was like immersive. This year, they didn't really have any of that. They didn't have any of the specialty treats. And all the stores and restaurants closed.
Really?
So you had like one place you could go eat. You had, there was no like specialty snacks that you could like find around.
Oh my goodness.
And even the parades and the fireworks were just like really low end. Where 2 years ago, I mean, I would have paid $500 to go.
My goodness. That's a shame.
It is. We actually left halfway through because we did everything. We rode all the rides, and it was basically just walking around. Took all our photos, did all that stuff. But the next day, we had tickets to Universal's Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah.
And we had the VIP passes.
How was that?
It was epic.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you don't go there every year
I know.
to do this. It's like, 20 haunted houses.
I know.
All your favorite shit.
Now, were you able to get in all of it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, with the VIP pass.
How much?
I want to say it's around the same price.
That's it. 180.
Yeah.
See, I have a cousin that works down there, so
At Universal.
yeah, so it's like she always is trying to get me to go down and do this, and I need to go down and do this. I understand I need to do this. She's been trying to get me to go, and everyone always tries to get me to go down and do it, and I really want to. I'm trying to go to Harry Potter World, all this shit. And I see that you go every year, and I think next year we're going to try to plan to go for October and try to do everything.
It helps with the seasonal depression.
Yeah.
Like those places are so immersive. Like this year, it was these. If we wouldn't have gone, we wouldn't have gone to any haunted houses.
Oh yeah,
and that's a big thing for me. Like I love haunted houses. We would always go to like 100 Acre Manor.
You didn't go to any this year?
No, I just didn't have the time.
Yeah.
The time that I did have, I spent doing my Halloween specials. But I mean, I don't know if you watched, what is it called? The Haunting on Hill House.
Oh yeah.
What is
Loved it. Haunting of Hill House?
Yeah. So they had a whole,
down
house
there
just for that. You
Oh,
walk
my
through
God.
The whole series.
Did you watch the second one, Bly Manor?
I did.
What'd you think about it?
I feel like they switched plots halfway through. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
I think I got a better idea.
Yeah, it was kind of
Let's go
weird.
this way.
It was all right though. I loved Hill House though. I thought Hill House was one of the best miniseries, out there.
Yeah, it was
Definitely cool.
It was good. But I don't know. Like you walk through Universal Studios, and you'll go through. There's like just sections like that you walk through where there's just like zombies everywhere, like hundreds of zombies, and they would like jump out at you, and it's so immersive. And of course, you can go to like part of the Harry Potter land while you're there, and kind of like
The haunted houses and shit were sick down there.
they were so good, so good. And like you said, if you're not like, if I wouldn't have done those things, Halloween, the whole of October would have just
Been gone.
swept by me.
Yeah, it's a shame. It really is. I seen you've been busy with tattoos. One of the cool things that I saw that you implemented into your shop was the Get What You Get tattoos. How's that going?
That thing is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's probably a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Because I think I turned off just as much people as people wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Because the whole point is you go in and you have to prepay for, which level of tattoo you want. And if you don't like what you get, that's it.
Yeah.
Like you're still out the money. Like you either get it or you're out the money. Or if you really don't like it, you can try again for like $5.
Oh yeah.
Which is weird, but it's like otherwise that was the point of a get what you get.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That gamble. I do have a great idea for next year. And I don't know if do you DoorDash?
Yeah. Oh, well, actually, no. I said yes, but I probably have once or twice.
So there's these things that have popped up called ghost kitchens.
Yes.
And,
I'm familiar.
And I think they're amazing.
Yeah.
And I order from this place and I'm like, I'm telling everyone about it. And they're like, oh yeah, that's Bravo. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. That's not Bravo. And they're like,
Bravo's? Like the restaurant?
Yeah, like the shitty Italian restaurant. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's Bravo. It's like, yeah, that's a ghost kitchen.
What's it called?
Beast Burger.
Beast Burger.
Beast Burger. They're smash burgers, right? And so I'm like ordering from there all the time. They got the crazy steak cut fries and so yeah, I was like, what do you mean it's Bravo? It's like, yeah, it's a ghost kitchen.
Wow.
Right? And they're all over the place. Like if you think you're ordering from like some like
new age,
yeah, you're just like, oh man.
It's Applebee's.
It is Applebee's. It's fucking Applebee's. And so I thought about it. I was like, you know what I need to do? Every October, I need to shut down my shop.
Yeah.
And then reopen it as like
a haunted house.
Like Tombstone. Like instead of Milestone, I would make it Tombstone. Oh my God. It would be nothing but Halloween tattoos. You couldn't get anything, and I would have tons of merch and just another immersive kind of place for people to enjoy Halloween.
It's here. Yeah. I mean, you have to do it now. You already said it.
Now I'm going to open up a ghost shop.
Yeah, it's going to be sick. So up here, I was actually, I was able to get to a couple haunted houses. So I went to 100 Acres Manor. I always try to hit that place. It was great this year. You know what I mean? I'm trying to, I don't know, dude. I'm a sucker because I'm not hard to please. You know what I mean? Scare me one time, I'm pumped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just love the vibes of it. Yeah. 100 Acres Manor was dope. Wasn't, bad line. You're a fool if you think that you shouldn't buy any of the upgraded VIP lines. Like, it's just, I don't got time anymore. But if you are cool to buy that, then it was great. Didn't have to wait. You're right through. It was like a 40-minute haunted house. It took a while. Really? And then I ended up going to Castle Blood. Have you been there?
I have not been there. It's on my list.
Yeah, so that place is, I can't say it enough. And it was a point, I wanted to make it a point to bring it up again. It's like the guy that runs that, it's literally like a mix of the Addams Family and the Munsters. Okay. This dude just has this, old cemetery or this old funeral home, and he's been doing a haunted house for I think almost 30 years, but he's been involved in costumes and performance and all this shit way before. His name is Ricky Dick, but he goes by Gravely Macabre, and they do this haunted house, and it's not it got jump scares and everything, but it's literally like a story. You have to go through it, and you have to collect these talisman and trade them with some of the spooky people in there. And you got
to take to get through it.
45 minutes. Okay. And it's dope, dude. It's I can't say enough good things about it, and I try to bring it up every year to try to put people onto it. And every year I'll have at least one person that goes, and they're like, that was just, no one ever they all have different preconceived notions of what it's going to be, but haunted houses, man, it's
I do. I love the jump scares. They get me all the time.
Yeah.
I am such an easy target.
Were you at your house for Halloween?
We were, yeah.
Did you have trick-or-treaters?
We had none.
None,
not a one.
Do you ever have them?
We did when I lived in Dormont. We had it.
You don't live in Dormont anymore?
We moved up to Castle Shannon.
Oh my God, I didn't know that. Yeah. Well, there you go. See, I'm the same way. I moved out here, not a single person.
I mean, this seems like a nice neighborhood to do trick-or-treating in. I feel like you get some full-size candy bars out here.
Oh, I would I would definitely become with a full size candy bar. I take pride in like being that house. Like that old spot that I was at, we were right on that main road. So like I literally gave out over 1,000 pieces of candy the one year. And, I'm just pumped about that, but not a single person here.
That's something that's also like dying off. Like nobody wants to trick or treat anymore.
That's insane.
Yeah. Like you get free candy just for walking around.
Insane to me. So like what else you been doing that's been kind of keeping you in the spooky vibes? You been watching anything spooky? You just been busy all October.
Yeah. I just been this whole October. I didn't book any appointments. I left it all up.
Really?
Yeah. Like I just didn't book anything because I wanted to do nothing but Halloween tattoos this year.
Yeah.
Because every year I get halfway through October and it's like, oh man, I haven't done a single Halloween tattoo. And I mean, honestly, if I could just do Halloween tattoos
all the time,
I'd be pretty happy. But
yeah,
little ghosts. And if it wasn't for that machine, I probably would have, even that would have just gone right by.
So this machine, for people that don't know what it is, it's like, the old school sticker machines that you used to go to the roller rink, get the stickers that say like 99% angel, 1% devil, shit like that. But you had 3 tiers, 50, 100
and 200
and 200. Yeah. And people would buy them. And like, I saw you had, the Beetlejuice, the characters from Beetlejuice, you had, all kinds of other shit in there. But like, so what's like for a tattoo artist, do you just have a book of just sketches and drawings?
I think every tattoo artist has a whole arsenal of drawings that they would love to do that just, they're like fan favorites.
Yeah.
Luckily, a lot of my stuff is Halloween. So when I needed to come up with images to toss in this machine, I already had a ton of Halloween. And I go like everything from like vintage style Halloween to modern to pop culture to cinematic.
Yeah.
With the Beetlejuice, like it all just kind of like falls under the same umbrella of Halloween.
It's an easy sell too. I mean, who doesn't love Beetlejuice?
Yeah. But if you think about it, in 10 years, who will remember Beetlejuice?
You think it'll fall off?
I mean, I feel like this new generation coming up, just like they're not.
No respect.
Yeah. They just.
No fucking respect.
They're going to be like, who's Michael Keaton?
Ugh, don't even. That's terrible. What do you think about the remakes of all this shit? Like you didn't see the new Halloween yet?
I haven't actually. See, again, I didn't make it to the theater. That was something that we were planning, and we were like bought tickets and everything, and then at the last minute we're like, oh man, I don't have the time.
Yeah.
Like by the time we get there, it's all going to be rushed. You don't actually get to sit. I mean, you get to enjoy the movie, but it's like the
whole experience is already, your experience is soured already if you're rushed around and everything.
And not to mention, like they put it on streaming.
Yeah.
Like immediately, like I think that's just killing the theater. Just, I want to go watch Dune. Nah, it's on HBO.
I love it and I hate it. I'm definitely torn because I am a big movie person. Like I like going to the movies. Me and Antoinette will try to go. Like we'll take the dog for the walk and then put her down for a nap and then just go to the movies. And that's always something that like I always love doing, just the vibe of all that. But it's also nice to be able to just, sit on my couch with my dog and just, hang out and watch a new movie. But I don't know. It is a double-edged sword. I was at the dentist today and, I was talking to the girl that was cleaning my teeth and she was like, we were just talking about how weird everything is. Just like the way we're just like talking about and doing things now and just like, this whole like new normal of everything. And
yeah, it's almost like I don't remember what life was like before all this. Like it's
like a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Like, I just had this like fever dream.
Yeah.
And now I'm like stuck in this world where like your whole decision, like, do I want to go to the movie theaters?
Yeah.
Or will I catch COVID there?
Yeah.
Like, how well do they clean it? And that goes for like
anything.
Yeah.
I think about it all the time, and I think about like, I don't know. It's just weird because it's like for a minute there, everyone was like, it's gone, everything's fine, and like we're at the grocery store with no masks, waving at people. Everyone's just like, oh, I haven't seen someone smile in like a year. Let me wave at you. Yeah. And now it's like, I feel like a piece of shit if I don't have a mask on at a grocery store now. I feel like people judge me and just like stare at me, and we're just back into it all. But I don't know, it's weird. That's why Halloween, I really look forward to October. It's like you said, I don't really have seasonal depression, but like just like all around depression, life depression as an adult. October is like really like my my peace and everything. But I just felt like it was so quick this year and like rush, and I didn't even get to do, the Halloween episodes that I wanted to do, and just couldn't line up with people and shit like that. And I felt like that I left the topic of Halloween shortchanged, and I felt like it was important to like, do one last episode about, the love of it all,
I mean, you have to like, I don't know. If you don't pre-plan the time, it'll just fly by.
Are you a creature of are you a schedule person?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah. Like you set aside time. You're like always put everything into your phone type person.
I try to.
Yeah.
Like I said, even this year, it was just like one thing after another, and not to mention like the minute all the decorations come in the stores, they're back out.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that everyone has a problem with. It's, you don't really get the full immersive like you used to.
There was Halloween and Christmas in the same, it was literally the same aisle. And I was like, come on now, you're fucking with my mind.
Yeah.
I'll
enjoy Christmas when it comes, but as soon as the Halloween store opened up, we hit it hard. We went in there and blew a couple $100 just on
pop a tag.
Yeah.
Walked
out there with like ballers, huge bags,
life-size stuffed animals as zombies and shit.
Yeah. So it was, having that kind of like that's our like gateway.
Yeah.
And as soon as the Halloween store opens, we know everything's on. But the fact that I didn't get to do a lot of the stuff. I didn't get to go see Halloween. I didn't get to go to any of the local haunted houses.
Yeah.
Didn't pass out candies. Barely even got around to carving my pumpkin.
Yeah.
I usually make stews as well. Like the weather starts to get colder, and I'll start making some stews and some thick soups and
little goulash.
Yeah. Like cozying into Halloween, and it just like none of it happened. I was on the move.
It's a shame, but I feel like we have to, we got to seize the moment with Christmas, big vibes of like Gremlins and the Krampus. And like, that's just what, the decorations are going to be up this weekend. So, as a tattoo artist, I'm curious to know, I was thinking about this whenever I was looking at your stories of you going to these conventions and stuff like that. You have, your own spot. You're the only artist in your tattoo shop. What is the main reason for going to these conventions and stuff like that? If you are having a shop in Pittsburgh and you're going to these conventions in Richmond, like I feel like that you're a pretty busy guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Realistically, you don't need any more work, I'm sure.
I mean, you could always use more work.
Yeah. But I feel like me and you have talked about it already. You could be pretty picky and choosy about what you want to do right now. Now, what's the benefit of going down there and doing all this? Just selling artwork and
it's socializing,
networking.
Like the fact that I work by myself, is it's tough on my psyche.
Yeah,
you kind of fall into this comfort of being alone and doing things your way, and going to a convention, you're kind of like forced out of your shell. You get to see what everyone else is doing. You get to see what's new in the industry.
Yeah.
There's actually a lot of benefits. I do tattoo when I go to these conventions, and I tattoo people from
other places.
Those neighborhoods. But it's not like they're going to travel to Pittsburgh. They'll just wait around for another convention. But I think the benefit is seeing what everyone else is doing, making those connections, building those relationships,
these places, do they have like these conventions, they have like the new technology and shit that's coming out?
They do.
Okay.
Yeah. So like they'll have supply companies there, and, the people that make machines or make inks, and you get to kind of like not only restock on the new supplies, but get to see what's coming out.
Yeah.
Which is just like a regular convention if you look at it, but it's just filled with beautiful people with tattoos. And
Now, I think the last time I talked to you, you were telling me you got a new tattoo gun that's cordless. Were you telling me that?
yeah. So I was given it's wireless.
Wireless.
It's run off a battery.
Yeah.
It adjusts like the voltage.
Yeah.
Which is like almost unheard of. Like when I first started tattooing, I never in my wildest dreams could imagine I would be tattooing without a clip cord powering it.
Yeah.
Or a foot pedal.
It doesn't use a foot pedal?
Nothing. It just looks like a pen.
How do you regulate the needle speed?
There's on the battery. On the battery, it has like a scale that you can monitor that voltage, and they last for about 10 hours.
So you're tattooing, usually if you tattoo me, you'll tattoo a couple lines and then you'll wipe away and you'll take your foot off the foot pedal and it'll stop going. Does this just go nonstop now?
Yeah. You can turn it off in between. So like if you're going to set it down, you can turn it off. So it's not just like vibrating on the table, but that's something I had to get used to.
Yeah.
Is not having that pause. And I still like tap my foot for my foot pedal, but
I bet
it's going to take some getting used to. I don't know if it's something that I'll always do. I really love my coil machines, and they'll just never make that for coil machines. So
yeah, it's never gonna do that. It's like it's like driving a old muscle car instead of a Tesla. You know what I mean? They're both beautiful for certain things.
Where the whole mentality I think comes from. It's like, oh, why not just make everything electric? And
is this new one quiet and shit?
It's extremely quiet.
Yeah, it's like it's not even you're taking away the fun of it,
whole
the
thing,
seasoning of it.
Yeah,
that's just exactly bland chicken now.
Yeah,
that's bland That's bland lab grown chicken. That's what the equivalent of it is.
Yeah. And that's not. I mean, there's even more stuff that's coming out. Like a lot of companies are trying to develop biodegradable disposable products.
Yeah.
Because we use so much plastic in this industry, everything from our ink caps to like our wraps to, even paper towels. Like everything is so in abundance.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Create ways to cut that footprint down. It's just nice to go see and do all that stuff. But yeah, it's weird.
Gotta save the turtles.
Yeah. I don't know if it's happening in every industry.
Yeah.
I see it very clear in my industry where it's going. And I think people are trying to do the best they can with how much waste they have. The earth doesn't have a whole lot left to give us.
I know it's crazy because it's almost like a double-edged sword being so attached to all these streaming services. Like I was just watching these documentaries the other day and I'm just like, the world's over, we're fucking it up and it's beyond repair. It's what it's making it seem. Did you watch that fish documentary?
I didn't.
Ugh, it's terrible. It's talking about how there's going to be no fish in the ocean in like 20 years. Yeah. It's like thinking about that shit is crazy.
I've literally seen like the Great Barrier Reef,
die over the years,
die out in my lifespan.
Yeah, you're a big Hawaii guy.
Yeah.
Is that the Barrier Reef down that way? I knew it was going to be wrong.
That's Australia. But even in Hawaii, there's they're every year when they record it, it's like it's getting worse.
Yeah,
everything is turning white, just dying off.
All the colors gone. It's a shame.
Even in Hawaii, though, they're making a lot of good changes. Like they're regulating the suntan.
Yeah, the
sunblock that you can use there. They don't allow any more plastic bags or plastic straws. So at least they're doing their part. But I mean, everything it's just dying. The toxicity.
Yeah, we're mold.
Yeah,
that's basically what it is.
If you have, I don't know, 1 million people going to the beaches and they're all using suntan lotion and sunblock and they're putting that chemical in the water, it's like, you're going to poison it.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Ugh. What a depressing thought.
It is. This is supposed to be the jolly time.
Yeah, this is Jolly Time. I'm having a great time with you. I'm curious to know, I feel like that whenever I do get tattooed by you, me and you have some pretty deep conversations. Two things that I was curious about, because I don't recall your answers on either of them, but I'm pretty sure that you fall probably the same way I do. But I'm curious to know what you think about ghosts, and and if you have had any experiences with ghosts or spirits. I feel like I've asked you this, but I don't remember what it was.
So I don't think I've ever had any like contact.
Yeah.
I have picked up items at like thrift stores and flea markets, and I'm like, oh, I'm not taking this home. No way.
The old forbidden rabbit's foot.
And Ashley is way different, because when she gets that feeling, she's like, oh, you're coming home with me.
Oh,
And
Jesus.
so she has like dolls that I just know were fucking watching me. Like you weren't facing that way when I walked in here, and now here you are. Even the cat, like the cat will just like stare at this doll that she has standing on the shelf. It's like this little weird. I can't. They're from. I can't remember what they're called, but they have plush bodies but plastic faces.
Cabbage Patch.
No, they're like old.
Oh, yeah. Who
like
knows?
Mark Ryden uses them in his paintings.
Yeah.
But they're like super old. And Rushton dolls, that's what they're called. Rushton dolls.
Rushton.
Yeah. And they're like, we'll find these Rushton dolls, and they're just like abused over time.
Yeah.
And you just take one look at it and you're like, yeah, you could have a spirit in you.
Yeah.
Sure.
Creepy.
But I've never actually had any like contact, but it's just like I said, a feeling that I've gotten. But I definitely believe that like things get left behind, like your energy gets left behind. And I tried to explain this to another client, because they were like, yeah, well, how can energy be left behind? And I said, women make babies off their own energy. If that's not like an apparition, you know what I mean? Like there's biology in there.
Yeah.
But she's using her energy source to create this thing.
Yeah.
Right?
That makes a good point.
Which to me makes it physical, or and somewhat metaphysical.
Yeah.
And I just think some of that can be left behind. Like you walk past, something that gives you an odd feeling, remnants of things.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another instance where.
Are you someone who is afraid to die? Are you afraid of death?
That comes and goes.
Yeah. My anxiety sometimes will be ridiculous about it. And then sometimes I'll be like, if it happens, it happens.
I fly a lot, and I have no fear of it. Like
None of flying.
yeah, none at all. When
Sickening.
I'm swimming way out in the ocean, I have no fear of it. It's not till like I lay down in bed and I'm about to fall asleep that I actually like get this glimpse of what death is.
Yeah.
And I'm like back up. I'm like wide awake, just kind of like, what the fuck do I do? Like, how do I prepare? And I've combat that with like, oh, maybe I'll make a will, right? Because at least if I know what's going to happen with the things around me when I die, it makes death a little better.
Yeah.
But in all, you
Not just so
matter.
open-ended.
Yeah. You are not going to care what you did in life once you're dead.
Yeah.
All the money you may have or cars or like none of it matters when you die, right? Because you just don't, it's just not yours anymore.
Yeah.
But
It's a heavy thing. That's recently one of the fascinations that I've been having is like I've been getting into Reddit a lot. You ever dive into Reddit?
yeah.
So I never was someone who used Reddit until probably like a year ago, and I've been using it pretty heavily. And I have been like reading about near-death experiences and things like that, and like what happens after. And it's an interesting, it's definitely an interesting topic. But I don't know. The whole ghost thing that's a weird thing to talk about. But
It's because they're all Victorian.
Yeah.
They're all Victorian ghosts.
yeah, why isn't there a ghost from like some hood ass ghost that's like sitting there talking to me, like a ghost from How High, rather than like they're all like some creepy like Victorian girl that's like 4.
I think it just takes that long to like break through the barrier.
That's true.
So my great grandkids are going to be dealing with ghosts that are singing
Fetty
pop
Wap,
songs. Yeah. Singing pop songs.
Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
That's gonna be it's pretty interesting. What about aliens?
I definitely think that there's something out there. I actually just watched the movie Contact. Have you seen that?
The old one, is that the one with Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah.
It's been forever since I watched it.
It popped up on the streaming service the other day, and I was like, I'll watch it.
Yeah,
And it actually has a really good
storyline.
Yeah, it does get kind of biblical, I think, which it's like don't mix the two. Like, if you believe in aliens, don't believe in God.
I know.
You have to have one or the other, but yeah, it's just the variables just don't add up. Like, we're either such an anomaly, right? That like, oh, we're this perfect little blue planet that happened to create life out of the entire expanding. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's interesting because that's always, some of the main topics that I was trying to find people to talk to for Halloween was anyone that had any ghost experience or alien experience, but then it's just so wild to think about and also some of the shit that's been happening just in, the world today with all this stuff with SpaceX. Have you saw the inspiration for and them sending William Shatner into space and everything like that?
No.
So the inspiration for was this thing that was ran by Elon Musk, where they sent 4 regular people just up into space and they orbited space for 3 days.
Yeah.
One of them was some rich ass dude who was, a pilot his whole life. Another one was some random military chick. Another one was a cancer survivor, young girl. Another one was literally a dude that reminded me of us, you and me. Just a chubby guy that's just sitting at home. And this guy won this thing by donating to cancer research. Someone donating to cancer research out of all these people was going to get picked to go to space. And this dude, they just called one day and was like, hey, you're going to go to space. And he was like, fuck it. So they trained for a couple months and then they did this. But they're really doing all this for interplanetary, living, eventually they want to be able to do this. And it's such a weird thing to start thinking about because if I talk to anyone that is above 40, 45, they're like, no one's ever going to live on another planet. But, younger people I feel are, I don't know. It's just seems like a realistic type thing. Maybe not in our lifetimes or our kids' lifetimes, but eventually.
Well, that's the problem that we have with space, right? Is it's all too vast to get there. We just don't have the time to really do anything. Anything that we put forward now won't see, all the way through fruition till 200 years.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a weird concept to be like, I'm going to put all my efforts into building colonies on Mars that I'll never even get to see probably the first brick being laid.
Yeah.
I guess I look at it as, even with aliens, everything is so far away. Every planet is so far away. We just don't have the time to get to it.
Yeah.
Or
the technology.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like trying to find an ant in another country, and you're an ant. By the time you get over there, you're dead.
Dead.
Yeah.
It's a good way to look at it. It's interesting. Definitely interesting to think about. It's weird because of how much weird shit is happening. Then they sent William Shatner up there, and it's they're doing all this weird shit. And then you have, what do you think about Elon Musk? What do you think about that dude? Did you see what he said about about donating $6 billion to solve world hunger?
Yeah.
What a gangster ass move.
Yeah.
Just dude, I'll do it right now. It got to be, we have to be able to see where the money's going. And they're it's just crickets now.
It's about time somehanded did it.
Yeah.
The governments don't want to solve world hunger. Why would they? There's so much, backhanded deals that are being done off not solving that.
Yeah.
We're gonna put 60 billion towards feeding the hungry, but only like 20 billion will go to that because we have to pay
all these big ass wigs.
Because I feel like it could have been done years ago.
Yeah.
Or it could never even have started. There's so many, bright-minded people out there that have this problem-solving abilities that I definitely don't have. I couldn't solve any of those problems.
Yeah. As someone who is inquisitive like myself, like I know you're someone that like, me and you always have these like wild, deep conversations about shit, but you're always someone who's very open to listen to things and like give your input on them. It's like, what is your thought on, I feel like that everyone, if you go on Facebook, do you have Facebook?
I don't use Facebook anymore.
It's a fucking pit.
It is a pit.
I'm trying to get rid of it as well. But, in this world of like all this like information that we have, it's beautiful to be able to just like start Googling things and be able to like, kind of deep dive into like this, whatever you want to learn about. Like you can pretty much educate yourself to a certain extent. But, there's some negative drawbacks to all this about like how people that are uneducated be able to like, kind of dive in to do that. Social media is I don't know, it's a blessing and a curse. It's like, do you think that that's going to be a benefit? Do you think it's going to be, how do I want to phrase it? Obviously it's going to benefit, but do you think that there's going to be a greater negative impact?
Oh, for sure.
Right?
I believe that there is so much information, like positive information and misinformation.
Yeah.
Like you could Google, will smashing a pumpkin, cure cancer?
Yeah.
And it would be like, oh, here's an article,
That's a good point.
And then you could Google, will smashing pumpkins not cure cancer? There'll be an article about that. Or, that's a really terrible analogy.
That's all right.
But like, whatever you Google,
you're going to find an answer for anything that you're looking for.
It's going to go back and forth. It's like, oh, it's healthy to drink milk. No, it's not healthy to drink milk.
Yeah.
So when you have all that misinformation, people don't want to like, there's no root, right? There's no root of information that you can go all the way back like a Encyclopedia Britannica and be like, oh no, this is what it's really is. But
yeah.
There's so much on the internet. There's so much information that
you don't know what it is. Real. Yeah. It's like telephone.
Yeah.
It's a game telephone. It's like you start with one thing and over the years, it still says the same thing.
Yeah.
Richie lied about it 50 years ago and it kept going the same way. It's wild.
And the media doesn't do any better. It's all about being first and not being right.
Terrible.
So when it comes to the news, I'm out.
Me too.
I would like to research myself, but even if you research yourself, there's like, it's a never ending pit. You could research that one thing over and over and over and over again and still not find the answer.
Yeah, it's definitely intense. It's definitely intense for sure. It's a double-edged sword. I guess we'll see what happens when the time comes to it all. But the whole social media thing is wild because I was really thinking about it today as far as like if kids were trick or treating. I heard so many different my buddy lives in Northside. He said he was walking through like the war streets over there, and he said it looked like Halloween Town. And then there's like people that I've talked to that were like, we didn't have a single trick or treater. Probably like 10 people told me that they didn't have anyone. It's just a shame to think that that's even like a realistic thing.
There's nothing to latch onto anymore. People just don't have like nostalgia anymore.
I know, and it's a shame. When did you know Santa wasn't real?
I had older brothers and sisters, so they were pretty much ruined every imagination for me.
Now, when did you? Now, before I interrupted you, you said you had a kid, or you have a kid. When did she learn?
She probably learned way before I found out that she didn't.
Oh, really?
But she is one of those people that's like, I like the way we do things. Yeah. I like traditions. So yeah, if we're gonna, these are our Christmas traditions, I'm not gonna stop them.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give those to my kids, right? So even if she knew that there were no Santa Claus, if there was no Santa Claus, we're still gonna hang the stockings.
Yeah.
I still put Santa on the tags all the way up until she was like 16.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? even though it's still like it's that development.
You're keeping hope alive.
Yeah, you need that imagination to help develop creativity.
Yeah, it's like the Christmas spirit. You ever see Elf?
Yeah, if you cut
Fucking
off,
sleigh is gonna wreck.
yeah, if you cut off the imagination of a kid
Yeah.
when he's young, he'll have a harder time being creative, because that's where creativity comes from, is imagination.
Yeah, you're putting out that spark.
Yeah.
Saying like, don't be an idiot. Think of real shit. Go to school to be an engineer. And you're like, God, I don't want to be that. I want to draw comic books.
And yeah, I don't understand why there's like this group of people out there that are just like fighting. Like, I would never tell my kid that there was Santa Claus. Why not?
Yeah.
Let them dream. Let them have a little bit of fun. Let them
have some fun.
Yeah.
I could still remember the nights before Christmas, like trying to fall asleep, like concentrating, like, all right, I'm going to think and I'm going to count backwards. It's the only time I ever tried to count sheep. And I'd be like, I'm going to count 100 of them and I'll fall asleep. I'd count to like 300 and still wouldn't be able to fall asleep. But, I was thinking about like, the things about trick-or-treating and like, the traditions, because like I enjoy all that stuff too. But as I was thinking about, trick-or-treating and how no one does it anymore, I was thinking about Devil's Night and how like, when you were younger, did you used to like smash pumpkins and shit like that?
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine how pissed you would be right now as an adult if your kids smash your pumpkins? I was thinking about that the other day, because we have a shitload of pumpkins out there, and Antoinette was like, "What if someone breaks them?" And I was upset. I was like, if someone smashes these pumpkins, I'll be pissed. But whenever I was younger, we used to just ruin people's shit.
That's the circle of life, my friend. Yeah.
Pay to play.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is. You got it. Like, you got to take the punches.
Yeah.
You kicked some
Roll
pumpkins.
with the punches.
Now you got to clean up your own pumpkins. Yeah. But
My goodness.
Even my parents, well into my kids, teen years, like would put dirty shoe prints on the floor to make it look like Santa walked through, and it's just, I feel like taking that away. And it's the same thing with Halloween.
Yeah.
The minute you start taking away like things, like you're fighting the good fight and you're like, we need to like make Halloween for everyone.
Yeah.
Halloween was already for everyone, but now you're putting rules on it.
Yeah.
And, I think it first started when they put hours on trick-or-treating.
Oh, a shame.
Like, I knew trick-or-treating was over when there was no more fucking lights on.
Yep.
And
whenever everyone turned their lights off. Yep. Now it's 2 hours. What can you even do in 2 hours?
Nah, you can't get far. Especially if you have like a younger sibling. You're like dragging them around. Like, come on.
Hurry up. Damn it.
You're walking all slow with your stupid legs.
Walking all slow. Oh, man. I loved it, though. That was, it was definitely my shit. I enjoyed it.
There's even every Halloween night, or every Halloween, once everyone, turned their lights off, there was that like quiet, eerie night.
Yeah.
Chilly night. They kind of just like reassured you that Halloween was here.
Yeah. Halloween sucked this year. It was piss and rain. Yeah. Absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
I was miserable about it. We were at people don't want to dress up in costumes anymore either. If you go to, I try to like orchestrate Halloween parties and everyone's just like, people just want to come and party. They don't want to like dress up and put some time.
My way.
I will
show up in costume.
I will.
Sure.
I will. I ended up not having one this year because I had other people that were like having parties and I was like, why not? We'll go to the other ones. But I think next year I'm going to be throwing some events. I'm thinking about doing a Christmas party too. I should do a Christmas party. Ugly sweater party.
Yeah.
Nice meal.
I tried to wear my costume to Giant Eagle. Oh. And it was like going to close in like 40 minutes. And I'm like trying to put on this costume.
Someone probably put a pistol to you.
Ashley was like,
what was it?
I dress like a Jedi.
Yeah. I mean,
I bought legit robes from Disney and.
Oh yeah. You get the lightsabers and shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
The thing is I think a lot of people are like, oh, I'm too old for that. Like,
Fuck
the
that.
minute you start saying that you're too old, you're too old.
I bought a Santa outfit 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I did. I bought a Santa outfit, full one, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I bought a mask this year. I went to put it on while we were driving to Halloween. Antoinette was like, "You definitely can't just drive around in the car with that mask on." And I was like, "Why not?" She was like, "Cops are going to pull you over because you can't see or whatever." And I was like, "Oh, they probably will." Fucking sons of bitches.
Your vision is like 6%.
6% now. And I'm just like, come on, bro. Like, whatever. All right. So I think that what I wanted to do, so for the ending of all the podcasts, what I wanted to do, I usually do the Desert Island questions. Okay. Yeah. Every year I do the Desert Island questions, but for you, I wanted to switch them up to all Halloween to keep, we're fighting to keep this alive. Yeah. So Desert Island questions. So for Desert Island questions, we got Halloween edition. First thing is first, for people that don't know, Desert Island questions, whenever I give each guest 3 categories to take with them on a desert island to exhaust until they die. First category, 3 movies that you could take on a desert island. Got to be Halloween feels. What are your 3 that you would choose?
First 3?
You can only have 3. Only 3 movies for the rest of your life.
Can I take a box set?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
To be honest, I'd probably, man, there's so many.
So many, it's hard.
Yeah. I would definitely take Halloween because I feel like just, nothing says Halloween like Halloween.
Plus, you got a lot of movies, so it's a good box set.
And H2O is like the best one, so you have to watch that over and over.
Was that sarcasm?
A little bit.
Ryan always talks shit because I tell him like Halloween Resurrection, Halloween H2O, and he's like, "Fuck Busta Rhymes." I'm just like, come on now.
The whole concept of that one was just terrible.
Yeah, it was terrible, but it wasn't as bad as the brand new one. I'll tell you that. Anyway,
I haven't seen it yet.
I know. I don't even want to put no sour taste in your mouth, but I was pissed.
Yeah. I think I would definitely take the Killer Clowns from Halloween.
Really?
The Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Yeah. It's been a long day. And then
how many are there?
There's just one.
Is there one? I thought that there was a second one.
I don't know. There was just the one, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. The Halloween movies. I'll take the whole box set because you never know. I might need to like use the other movies as a weapon or something.
Yeah, the Halloween box set. Yeah, I'll give you that.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the original one.
The original one, very eerie.
Yeah.
I was late to the game on that one. Watched it for the first time probably like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Definitely weird.
It's like, it gets under your skin weird.
100%. Yeah. You're just like, this is weird that someone even wanted to make this movie back then.
Especially because they were like, the whole time I was growing up, they were like, this is based on a true... Like
they never found this dude, and you're like, Jesus, he's about to be in the woods
never
right now.
To Texas,
yeah, never go to Texas.
So, never. There's too many back roads. I'm never doing it.
Okay, second category is I usually ask people 3 books, but I'm curious, 3 of your favorite Halloween costumes you've ever done in your life. Could be when you were younger. Like, what were like the 3 best that you've ever had?
A few years ago, we did. Ashley made me. A Beetlejuice costume, the cab driver one.
Yeah.
And
I remember that.
Yeah, she legit made everything. She made the shirt, the prints on the shirt. She went all out. That one, there was, I have to say the one, I wear it every year when I do my Halloween special. It's like this old
shirt,
shirt. Yeah. I just love it. If I could wear it all year round, I would. When I was a kid.
Yeah, one. I need one.
I grew up pretty poor.
Yeah.
And my mom would go around the house and just collect random items to make something, right? Finger quotes, make something.
Would always throw it together.
Yeah. And I can't tell you how many times I was like a mad scientist. She had like this green wig that was just like cowlicked everywhere. A weird like blue like trench coat that was made out of like rain material, like rain jacket material with shoulder pads and
shoulder pads in it.
And I would carry around little beakers, and I was like a mad scientist like every year. I think for like 4 or 5 years.
That's all right. You got to make it work.
Yeah.
I love that.
But it was all about the candy anyway. So
that's good.
As long as I had something that knocked on the door with, I'm good.
Okay, third category. I usually ask people 3 CDs, but this might be a hard thing to name, but if you could pick 3, themes or Halloween type songs, if you could choose that, what would they be? I know that's hard, but I immediately think of I think of the Halloween theme song, obviously.
I mean, it's a good one.
It's a great one.
Could you hear it for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I could sit through the Monster Mash.
What could you hear for the rest of your life?
I mean,
spooky, scary skeletons.
Dude, I'm on TikTok, man. I've heard that. I'm already done with that, for real.
I know it's terrible for sure. I don't know what. I guess that's a dumb question anyway.
I feel like Halloween songs are only good for the season.
Yeah.
Anytime it's like Christmas. Anytime you hear it out of context, you're like, that's a strange one.
All right, I allow that. That's a good answer. All right, second or third to last question, and is that the third? Yeah, third to last question. Third to last question is the death row meal. So the death row meal.
Yeah.
You know the deal with it. You get to pick a appetizer, an entree, and a dessert to eat before you're put to death. What would your last meal be?
Breakfast.
I
would probably do. I guess I would do breakfast.
Breakfast meal? You're a big breakfast guy?
Yeah.
Didn't know that about you.
I mean, I pretty much I would say if I was going to die, I'd break all my values. You know what I mean? And I would probably actually eat meat.
Yeah.
And it would probably be, you know what? I would probably go with carnival sausage.
Carnival sausage.
Is that weird?
The hell is carnival sausage?
It's when you go to a carnival and you get the hot sausage with the peppers and onions. Give me 4 dozen of those.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
When they finally whenever I finally go, I want to shit everywhere.
Cheese and banana peppers and everything. Someone else said that. Someone was like, I want to eat every shitty Mexican food that I could eat. So whenever I go, I could just leave a terrible mess. Yeah. Someone else said that. I can't remember who did, but that's a good answer. What about dessert?
I guess I'm not too much of a big dessert guy. I mean, if they were like, no, you have to have a dessert.
Monster watermelon?
Probably a monster. Yeah, probably.
Right.
That'd probably actually be my dinner. If we're speaking honestly, I'd can I get a?
How many of those you drink a day?
This will be my third.
Third today? Yeah. That is not good.
No, it's not.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Luckily, I shouldn't even have got you one of those.
No, you're not doing me any favors.
You need to be drinking decaf waters.
Yeah.
Okay, so second to last category second to last question. I usually ask people their go-to road trip snack, but I want to know your 3 Halloween candies, top 3 Halloween candies.
Reese's Pieces.
Yeah.
I guess I think candy corn is the most disgusting thing ever.
Yeah. If you would have picked candy corn, I would have deleted this whole conversation.
Yeah.
I love popcorn balls.
Yeah, Reese's Pieces. I definitely like the Sour Patch Kids.
Oh, yeah.
I have to go with Sour
Patch Kids.
Those two do not mix.
No, they don't. I like the watermelons. Watermelons.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I'll take some Almond Joys.
Almond Joys.
Yeah.
We were just talking about them because someone posted something on there and said that no one loves Almond Joys. And I used to hate Almond Joys. Anytime I would get them, my dad would pirate them. He would take all the shitty candy that I just never liked. But Almond Joys were one things that I would just never eat. But now I fuck with an Almond Joy. Yeah. They're really good. Definitely good. Halloween candy. It's good stuff. Now they have all this weird shit. There's 40 different kinds of everything. Yesterday the other day I had Snickers that was brownie batter Snicker. That's what I had for Halloween candy, but
brownie batter Snicker.
It's too much. Keep it.
You know why? Because they can't invent, they just have to put a play on it. So,
Yeah, it's terrible. It literally tasted the exact same.
Yeah.
Couldn't even imagine it. But okay, go ahead.
I accidentally bought a peanut butter Twix once.
Peanut butter. I didn't know that was a thing.
It was disgusting.
Is that the one that was in the black bag or the red bag?
The red one.
Yeah.
And so I bought it. I just grabbed it and I was like, why would anyone put peanut butter in this?
Yeah.
Like I like peanut butter. I just don't like, it was just gross.
Yeah. You guys got to keep them separated. Keep them separated. All right. Last question that I ask everyone. If you could have a conversation with anyone alive or dead, who would it be and why? We could do this with a regular one, but I was thinking like, a character from a horror movie. What do you think?
If I could have a conversation.
Yeah, where they wouldn't kill you and you would be able to like talk to them, any way you would want. Like a TED Talk from a horror movie that you could just talk to.
You know what?
I was thinking about that on my ride home today. I was like, that would be a cool question to ask because I never really thought, no one's really ever thought about that. Who would they want to talk to?
Yeah. Like, would you want to know about a vampire?
Yeah.
Or a werewolf?
Yeah. Or people like Jigsaw. Like, what's what were you like? Like, what kind of shit were you into whenever you were a little kid, whenever you weren't killing people and fucking pets?
I think you have to look at the characters themselves. Like, you wouldn't get much of a conversation out of Michael Myers.
Yeah.
You'd get too much conversation out of someone like Freddy.
Yeah.
Jason would just stare at you
Yeah.
and get creepy. So you'd want to find someone that you actually could have like a conversation with, like the dad from Trick or Treat.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Creeper.
he was a psychopath.
Yeah, he was a nut. I just watched it the other day.
Yeah.
Just so he's like, I forgot to poison your candy.
Yeah. Like you just kind of want to know what's going on in his head.
Yeah. He reminded me a lot of Phil Hartman.
Yeah.
Yeah. For some, like in the creepiness in Jingle All the Way.
Yeah. So I would probably talk to him.
Yeah. That's a good answer. That's a good answer for sure.
Or maybe even the bus driver. Right? Because like, what has he been doing with the last 20 years of his life?
Yeah.
How does he live with the fact that he just murdered all those kids?
Yeah. I like. I was thinking I'd probably talk to Scream.
Yeah.
But then you're like,
Which one?
Yeah. Then there's like all different kinds, and it's like Billy Salt would be cool, but I feel like Stu would be the best conversation.
I mean, he would be a good.
Also, Mickey. Mickey would be good too. What do you? They're making this next one. Did you see the preview for it?
I haven't.
It looks incredible.
I've been so out of the loop.
That's all right.
Anything social media or, just I don't know. Lately, I've just had my head down, working super hard. But there's a lot of good things coming out.
Too many.
Excited about.
Too many.
Yeah.
Too many things. Michael, I appreciate it as usual to sit down and talk with you. It's always a good time talking with you.
Yeah, dude. I always have a great time.
It's always a good time. Take a second and promote anything you would like to promote.
I guess if I had to promote anything, it would be Morning Mortimer. It's our new online store. It's a small, kind of like a creepy Victorian Halloween-based small shop that we're transitioning into. We're releasing a whole bunch of Krampus stuff this year. We got shirts that one is going to be color, one is going to be just black and white. Then we got a Krampus candle, some prints.
Hell yeah.
Just a whole bunch of good stuff. There's the ideas that we have for this little shop are going to be way bigger, way creepier.
Where's the name come from?
So Mortimer was one of the mice that Walt Disney created with Mickey, but nobody liked him. Like he was just like, he almost looked rat-ish. So they got rid of him. So it's basically Morning Mortimer.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. We used to be Main Parade, but at some point you just go as far as you can with that brand, that style. I mean, for someone who also started a t-shirt company, it's like, they're like one of the most trickiest things. You either fall into like a niche and you can't get out of it.
Yeah.
That's where all your followers are from. But we just decided we wanted to take it another direction. But good things are coming out of that. A lot of creativity involved in it.
Absolutely. And your tattoo studio
Milestone. Yep.
located in Dormont.
Dormont.
People could inquire about a tattoo with you.
Absolutely.
What's the best way?
The best way is to just go to my Instagram, Michael Patrick Tattooist. Click the link. There's like a website that you can you contact me through there. It's I've gone all automated.
There you go.
So there's like a little form you just fill out your name, your information, what you're looking to get, and it kind of
Hell yeah.
go that way. That way I don't just get flooded with emails, DMs.
Yeah, that's where Antoinette is with like the whole wedding makeup. She just made like a questionnaire type forum, and it just is a, hearing that from that end of it all, rather than like a customer end of it all, is pretty. It's a lot of work to do. So it's helping you guys out for sure.
Most people don't put like they don't use their real names for things.
Yeah.
So like they don't use their real name for emails or Instagrams when you need to find that client, like you have to search multiple different places to find them.
That's a good point.
If I have a client on Thursday and I'm like, oh, let me figure out what they want to get. Do I have to go to my email? Do I have to go to my Facebook? Do I have to go to my Instagram? Where did we have this conversation of what they want to get? This way it kind of funnels everyone in the same direction.
Yeah, absolutely. So. Michael, I appreciate it. Everyone else that's listening, I appreciate it as usual. Lots of good things coming. Holidays are coming up. I'm going to try to plan a Christmas party. We'll see if we can make that happen. But, another great episode, another great guest next week. Thanks for listening as always, and I'll call you right back.